Ladles and jelly spoons, welcome back to Badgerworks. Today, this. This is, you may be interested here, the Nautilus from Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And this was made by my daughter, and we're going to remake it using scratch building. So I shall explain why and how all this came about, and then we'll get on with it. So yes, stay tuned. So yes, this is the Nautilus, as I say, from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Basically, how this came about, I bought my daughter a load of books recently. My daughter's 11, by the way. She's just started secondary school, and continuing her education in the classics, I bought her a whole bunch of like classic science fiction and stuff like that. So you know, Mary Shelley, Jules Verne, H.G. Wells, and so on and so forth. And one of the books I got her was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and she read it, and I asked her if she enjoyed it, and the usual 11-year-old too cool for school, it was all right. And then she went away and made this out of this is air dough. For those of you who are not familiar, air dough is a modelling material that's designed for kids. So it's like an air drying clay, but it's kind of it's more like Play-Doh in consistency rather than clay, so it's a lot easier to work. And she made this, and I was really interested to see this because it's basically her interpretation of the Nautilus, because she's never seen the film. So she wouldn't know, you know, what the one in the film looks like. But this is what she came up with. Oh, hang on, here she is now. Hello, you.
Are you talking about me?
Yes, I am talking.
Good.
Just mind that, please. I was just showing them your Nautilus.
The blobfish.
The blobfish, apparently. So, no, I was just saying the fact that because you've never seen the film, you don't know what most people's idea of the Nautilus is. So this is one you came up with yourself. Yeah. Very impressive. So. Anyway, I'm talking.
Carry on.
Or you? Oh, okay. Oh, hang on. There you go. I have permission to carry on. So anyway, this is what she made, and she asked me to 3D print one. So what I have got is, let's put that to one side for a minute. This. So what I did was I went into Tinkercad and I made a quick base with a couple of engines on it. And I have populated it with various 3D printed bits and pieces. Most of these are from a company called Loot Crate Games. I backed a Kickstarter of theirs, and they're basically like sci-fi scatter terrain pieces. So we'll have a closer look at them in a minute. But there's also a bed which came from My Mini Factory. I'll try and find links to all of this stuff. But yeah, so I think let's just put those side by side ish, and so it's a reasonable facsimile of what she's made. So basically what I'm going to do today is paint it, and then she can play with it. So yeah, I'll show you all the bits in a bit more detail, and then we'll get on and paint it. Right, so yeah, this is the thing. So the base of it I just made in Tinkercad. It's just a series of primitives, and all the various components, most of them actually came from the Loot Crate Games scatter pack, which I got off of Kickstarter a long time ago, and I've used some of these bits before in other projects you may well have seen. So what I've got is a control panel, a couple of engines, two of these little computers, a stack of whatever these are that she's made, a bed which came from My Mini Factory, and a desk which came from My Mini Factory. I'll come back to that in a second. There's also this chair which is actually it's like a Queen Anne style wingback chair. So there's one. Oh, there's one with the legs. So what I did was I just left the legs off and just using it. It's a bit overscaled, but it will do for this. And then finally we have this, which is something else I made in Tinkercad. This is the big red button, apparently, because she wanted a big red button. So again, I made this in Tinkercad and just printed it. And you see it says, do not touch on it. So what I'm going to do, most of this paint job is going to be rattle cans and then some brushwork. But the desk, as I said, going back to, this is another one that came from my mini factory. And this has been scaled down from 28mm wargaming scale. And it's a lovely bit of kit. I can't remember the name of the guy who made it, but I'll try and put a link in the description. But it's a desk, and this particular version has stuff on it, including, I don't know if you can see that, there is actually an ashtray there with a cigarette butt in it, which is very cool. But the other thing that was, and again it's a testament to the Elegoo Mars Pro, these drawers actually, if I can get it, they actually open. Oh, can't get hold of it now. So, yeah. And I think my daughter's already planning to try and put stuff in those drawers. I don't know what you're going to put in those, but, you know, whatever. So, yeah, there's that. So, what I'm going to do now is I'll just give everything a lick over with a couple of rattle cans. I'll give it a coat of grey primer, and then just paint everything white, and then we'll go on from there. So I'll go away and do that, and then we'll come back and see what we're going to do next. So what I'm doing now is I'm just using a variety of mainly Citadel colours, but also some Humbrol and Tamir and a couple of others. And I'm just adding some detail to some of these panels just to make them a little bit more interesting. So I'll just do a variety of different colours and various things on buttons and things. And while I'm doing this, I'd just like to take a moment to thank my top tier patrons, Amy and Edwin, for their ongoing support. And I'd like to thank Amy especially because, in addition to being a tireless supporter of the channel and of me personally, she also runs my Facebook group, the Staff Canteen, and frankly does a far better job of it than I ever could. And on top of that, she actually came over from America to visit recently, so I think there's dedication for you. We had a lovely time, and while she was here we took the opportunity to meet up with a few other patrons and fans of the channel. Ian, Ryan, Clive and his wife Sue, and we went out to dinner and had a lovely evening. Very nice meal and even better company. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. It never really occurred to me until afterwards that I suppose technically that was my first ever fan meet. So yeah, that was a good deal of fun. So thanks for that, guys. We'll have to do it again. But yes, as ever, you're always more than welcome to come and join us in the Staff Canteen on Facebook, and you can share your builds and that and whatnot if you like, ask questions or just lurk in the background. It's entirely up to you. Oh, the missus is here. Say hello, missus.
Hello, missus.
Now you see where the kids get it from. get on with these and come back and show you when it's finished. Right, so all the little bits and pieces are painted now. I didn't go mad with it when I did it. I just it's just really just to, you know, give it a splash of colour. But yeah, I'm quite pleased how they've come out. I also, while I was at it, just painted some sort of hazard lines around the hatch where the like the moon pool thing will go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start sticking some of these bits onto the base. Now I'm not going to put these bits on yet because I've given these a coat of gloss varnish, and what I want to do is put those on afterwards. So I'm going to put all these bits on, and then I'm going to give the whole thing a coat of matte varnish, and then once that's dry I'll stick these bits on so they can stay gloss. These bits are still on the stick because that obviously doesn't need to be stuck down because it needs to come off, and the big red button, apparently, according to my daughter, has to be not stuck down either. So there you go. She obviously has plans for that button. So yeah, what I'm going to do is use a bit of this Araldite, 5-minute Araldite to stick these bits on. So we'll mix that up and then get to gluing. Okay, so let's start with this one. It doesn't need a huge amount of glue, it's just enough to hold it down. So that goes in there. Like that, and I think the engines will put with the controls facing towards the front. So that one goes like that. Goes like that. Okay, now we want the computers. We've got one there. One on this side. Like that. And then this. And that goes in there next to the computer. Like that. Right, and what we'll do is we'll let that dry, and then I'm going to give it a coat of this high coat matte lacquer, and I'll do the whole thing with that as well as these bits, and then after that we can stick the other bits in, and I think we'll be pretty much done. Yeah, I think we're getting close to being able to wrap this up. So that's that'll dry, the varnish and everything. What I'm going to do, just before I put the last bits on, is I've got some gloss varnish here, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the various screens on the computers, just to make them look like glass again, just to, you know, brighten them up a bit. If I could find my glasses. I'm not sure whether this is going to work because it's rather cold in here this morning, and I'm not sure whether this paint's going to work, but it just needs a little bit like that, just to give the glass a bit of shine. Like that. And there we go. Now the last thing I'm going to do is I've got these bits, the bed and the chair and whatnot, to put on, so I'll stick those on and then we can wrap this up. And here is our finished article. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with how this came out. It's a bit of a hatchet job, I know. It was done fairly quickly just to appease my daughter, but she is apparently mildly content, which I think is about as much as I can expect. But yeah, I think it's not a bad representation of what she made. And as I say, it's interesting the fact that, having never seen the film, and I mean obviously, you know, we all have this picture in our minds. As soon as you say Nautilus, you think of the submarine from the film. And of course, her having never seen the film, it's this is how she pictured it in her mind. Although she has now decided to rename it the Blobfish. So there you go. But anyway, she can go away and play with this and do what she wants, and yeah, until the next thing she wants made. So yeah, hopefully this has been of interest to a few of you. It's just a quickie this week. Stop laughing at the back. And so I'll see you on the next video. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers. Bye.